What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. All right, so look, I was asked this question pretty much again about Savannah Marshall versus Claressa Shields. Now, I already gave my take on this situation. This is what I feel, okay? Savannah Marshall says she's too strong for Claressa Shields. So when you say that, all you're doing is repeating what Savannah Marshall said, okay? You always have a fighter saying, I'm too strong for this guy. I'm too fast for this guy. I'm too this. I'm too that. I'm too smart. My ring IQ is too much. That guy can't, and then they go in there and they lose. Or they go in there and they win. But the point is you want to see the fight, right? If I tell you I'm going to whoop somebody's ass, I don't have to tell you what I'm going to do. Just tune in and watch. You'll see what Aries can do. That's my attitude. I have to tell you what I'm going to do. This is a fight that should have been made. I do remember Claressa Shields, making it known she wanted to fight Savannah Marshall in 2018. Eddie Hearn said he was going to make the fight happen. It never happened. Okay. Make the fight happen. This is, look, when you try to make a point about who you think can win, okay, you give me your point of view. Cool. I hear you. There's no argument. We can see the situation completely different. But there's no debate. There's no argument. What's going to be is going to be. I feel like one of the problems with female boxing, with women's boxing in general, but women's boxing is, what y'all got to understand, okay? Women's boxing is not popular. I think it's more popping in the UK than anywhere else. Women's boxing is not popping over here in the States. Women's MMA gets more attention than women's boxing in the States. Every time I turn around, Eddie Hearn is putting a good card on. And most of the time, they'll have females on the card. The problem is, females are not put on the major cards. Like, example, right? When Canelo fights, let's just say, for example, like he just fought Billy Joe Saunders in front of 70,000. Imagine if they would have had Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall on that card. See, you got to put now Claressa Shields she headlined a couple of events, but think of what I'm saying, okay? You put your best female fighters on the same cards with the best male fighters. More eyes will be on what they're doing. And the thing is, it will be like a co-main event. And the fight will be taken more serious. More people will pay attention to what's happening. Claressa Shields, look at how many titles she has. Look at all her accomplishments. But again, when she fights, people, oh, she's not fighting anybody. What do you mean she's not fighting anybody? She's fighting the best people that they're putting in front of her. The fights that she's trying to get, if they're not making it, and understand, especially when you're fighting in different weight classes, okay? You got to stop with all of this, personal feelings and dislike for people. First off, I don't know any of these people personally to be liking them or disliking them. My whole thing is, I'm just looking at what's in front of us, the two fighters, what each fighter brings to the table, what we know, what we think we know. And, we take it from there and we try to make the best, most logical assessments out of what the information that we have. But when you're going to sit here and say Claressa Shields has been ducking Savannah Marshall, what proof do you have that says she ducked anybody? I clearly remember her saying she wanted to fight Savannah Marshall. And that was like 2018. And Eddie Hearn was supposed to make that fight happen and it never happened. I'm not saying Savannah Marshall is ducking Claressa Shields. What I'm saying is, just to make your point, by sitting here just repeating what she said and then taking, being biased because that's who you want to win, bro, it's not a conversation for me. That's just basically a person speaking off of ignorance. You know what the word ignorant mean, right? Okay? You ever heard that phrase, you're ignorant to the facts? That's what's happening. But people talk like it's factual what they say. Yeah, Evander Holyfield. Remember, Mike Tyson hit too hard for that boy. Mike gonna do this, Mike gonna do that. What happened when they fought? So it's easy to talk that shit, but when you got to get in there and back it up, let me tell you something. I think Savannah Marshall is a good fighter. Okay, because I know part of what you was trying to do was get me to arouse to get in the. No, I'm not going to get into any debate or go back and forth. I'm going to tell you like this. I think Clareesa Shields is a solid fighter. It doesn't matter who you think is better or who I think is better. What matters is when they get in that ring, what it goes on. If they ever get in there. Clareesa Shields is doing MMA. You guys make stupid comments like, oh, if she all that, why don't she fight Amanda Nunes? Well, why would she go in there for her first fucking fight and fight Amanda Nunes? Why? Kimbo Slice became a boxer before he passed away. People said the same dumb shit. Oh, if Kimbo Slice, all that, won't he fight for Vladimir Klitschko? Why would you put this guy in there with Vladimir Klitschko? He's a street fighter. He wasn't an MMA guy. He learned a few moves. He was a street fighter, a bona fide street fighter, and he know that's what he was. He had heart. I liked Kimbo as a fighter, but no, why would you put him in there with Klitschko? You know he needs more experience. I've been watching the videos of Clareesa Shields, and I can see improvement in her. Only thing I can tell you is we won't know how good she is until we see her in the octagon, right? Simple as that. So the fact that you want to see her lose, whatever. Who cares about that? I'm more focused on the action that goes on in the ring, not all of the hype and talk about what you think is going to happen and talking like, I guarantee this, I guarantee. You can't guarantee me nothing. I guarantee you that what you say don't change my opinion. So I don't know why you guys like to just try to shoot stupid questions, man, like make statements as if you're schooling me on some shit because you have a fucking opinion. We all have opinions. What the fuck does your opinion mean? It's so funny. You always had these opinions, but as soon as that shit that y'all say backfire, all of a sudden you get quiet. I don't hear from you again. It's as simple as that, man. Make the fight. We don't have to sit here and guess who we think will win. I don't care about all that. I know who I think will win a fight between the two of them. I don't have anything to hide about that, but I don't make videos to sit here and tell you, I guarantee you this person's going to beat this person. And this person, I don't need to do that. That's not what this is about. We're trying to promote boxing and trying to promote, the two fighters going in. Let's get behind this fight. Let's see a good fight. You guys want to sit here and tear a fight down. CHarlo, okay? CHarlo, from what I understand, I don't know if he said this, but I heard that he's saying he want to fight Canelo and that he want to fight him at a catch weight. Here's my thing, okay? I don't like catch weights. If you hold a title at 168 and I'm fighting you at one for that title, I need to fight you at 168. If I can't make the weight, I really shouldn't be fighting for that title because legitimately I didn't fight for a 168 title. And weight seems to bother a lot of people, okay? Either it's too much weight you got to gain or too little too much that you have to lose. And if you're not healthy, if it's not good for you, if you're drained, then you're no good. So can I legitimately call you? Can you legitimately be the 168 pound champion fighting at a catch weight? No, you beat this same guy to get it. But if you can make the weight, and I heard CHarlo say he can make the weight before. So I don't understand that. Now, let's not forget, Miguel Cotto and fucking Canelo was doing that shit for a while. Fighting people at catch weights and same thing. But it's funny how we forget history, right? It's so funny. Now, all of a sudden, Jamal's a bitch because he's trying to get to fight him at a catch weight. No, I don't like the catch weight. I'm not going to say it's cool because it's him, but what I'm saying is, remember when Canelo was doing that same thing? Was you calling Canelo a bitch then? Was it not a good idea when Canelo was doing it and when Miguel Cotto was doing it? I can understand, like I said, if you can't, like Floyd is a guy, even when he fight at 154, he come in the ring like what, 151, 152? He can't, he's not naturally, that's just not his natural weight as a fighter. So he barely makes 154. So I can understand him saying, okay, if he's going to fight a guy, just say for middleweight, and he say, man, it got to be at a catch weight because that's too much weight for me to gain. If it's going to affect your performance, I get that. Catch weights is not catch weight. Okay, should be okay. I'm coming from 160, you coming from 175. Okay, let's make it comfortable then. We'll meet at 166 pounds. Okay, 165 pounds. I'm just saying it like that because basically you have to lose 10, I have to gain 5. Let's try to make it as comfortable as possible. You see what I'm saying? But for you to have a title on the line, that means if you can't make the weight comfortably, if you win the title, you're going to defend the title at catch weights. So I'm not into that. But again, you guys love to point out something that one guy does. But you guys forget the very guy that you're pointing the finger at is saying this to a guy who was also doing that at one point. Canelo was fighting at catch weights to drain people. When Canelo feels comfortable at a particular weight, that's when he goes into that weight class. The only difference between Jamal and Canelo is Canelo's the A side between the two of them. And Canelo don't have to agree to that shit. But if he really want that smoke, right? Okay then. He can't say that's not a good idea when he was doing the same shit himself. What I'm saying is an observer for somebody seeing and understanding, nah, Canelo, you was doing that shit too. I don't think much of the idea. And in all honesty, if they're going to fight for that title at 168, it's not about just seeing these two guys get in the ring and fight. Make it legitimate, man. Make it legitimate. You can't walk around and say, I'm the champion at 168 fighting at catch weights. Whoever Jamal fight, I want to see him win. But I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it because it's Jamal or give him a green light like, oh, nah. I don't think much of catch weights when you can make the weight. So, and even for people talking about Jamel or Jamal is 154. He's fighting at 154. Canelo's fighting at 168 and went all up to 175. So why in the hell would we be looking forward to Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez? Why would we be looking forward to that? At the end of the day, I'm about the fights. Again, I got to constantly remind a lot of you, I'm not into this whole let's debate. You pick your favorite fight, I pick my favorite fight, and let's just sit up here and act like a bunch of 8-year-olds. No, you're not going to get that out of me. I don't care enough to sit and argue with anybody. Like I said, I'm not the one getting my ass. I don't get ass whoopings. I give them. So I'm not the one in there getting ass whoopings. I'm not going to sit here and argue with none of you about who beat who and who can't, no. I give you my opinion based on what I see, like I said, but that's as far as I'm going to go with you guys. As far as all this greatest of all time stuff y'all was talking, if Floyd Mayweather feels he's the greatest of all time, so be it. Is he wrong for that? And, Sugar Ray Leonard feels like he could beat anybody. He said the same thing. I feel like I could beat anybody, even Mike Tyson. That came out of Sugar Ray's mouth. Ali think he's the greatest of all time. Larry Holmes think he's the greatest of all time. I'm not sitting here and argue with these guys. Oh, no, you ain't the greatest because such and such would have beat you and such would have beat you. Lennox Lewis probably think he's the greatest of all time. Mike Tyson, all these guys. Look, at some point, some of y'all will grow up and you'll realize you're sitting up here arguing and making debates about stupid foolishness. Doesn't matter to me, man. After I enjoy a good fight, it's like, cool. Sometimes I'll sit and watch it back again. Cool. I just want to see good fights, great fights. But I'm not sitting up here. I want to be Mr. Critic and break down everything about everybody and try to make fighters look bad and look for weak points where I can sit up here and criticize. That's not what it's about for me. So for all of you that get into that, that's your thing. Again, Clareesa Shields versus Savannah Marshall should happen. Jamal Charlo and Canelo should happen at 168 or 160. They're not talking about undisputed. They're talking about just the point of, two of the best fighters fighting each other. But like I said, I don't feel like you should fight for a title at a catch weight because you didn't win that title at the proper weight. And then on top of that, you're going to defend it at catch weights. So you're not truly the champion at 168. Okay, they don't have a 166 pound champion, but they don't have that. So go in there, and for people to say, well, it's only 2 pounds. Well, okay then. Well, if it's only 2 pounds, how about you gain the 2 pounds then and coming in at 168? Or Canelo, Jamal Charlo said he can go to 168. He's big enough to go to 168. Canelo said he can still go down to 160. After the Billy Joe Saunders fight, it might have been Ellie Setback that asked him that too. But they were in the hallway or something. Yeah, yes, of course, yes. He said he can make 160. So either fight him at 160 or fight at 168. I don't really, care, man. It's just one of these things where it's not about, oh, I just want to see the fight to the point. I don't care about the stipulations. No, if it's not going to be legit, then it's not. I'm not interested, man. I'm not interested. Okay, I'm 247 pounds. Can you imagine me telling somebody, oh well, I'm gonna call out a fucking cruiser. I'm gonna call out somebody 180 pounds and tell them, well, you got to come up in the ring and be at least 245 pounds. And this motherfucker walk around all 185 pounds. How the fuck you gonna come? How you gonna come in at my weight? You know what I'm saying? No, as long as you come in as a heavyweight, whatever weight you come in, weight don't bother me. I don't care about weight. That's me personally. But at the same time, it's like, these things have been going on in boxing for so long, man. It's not like it's anything new. Like I said in the last video, people, it's like nobody's trying to fix it. Things that's wrong with boxing. But I don't care about stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, I keep telling y'all, man, I don't do debates, man. I don't do debates. There's no need for me to say, I'm a grown fucking man, for me to sit here and wanting to argue my point. To tell you what, I'm not going to say anything that's going to make you see it different and vice versa. It's not about trying to win an argument. It's about pointing out the things that are difference makers, that are factors. But, for you to tell me what Savannah Marshall will do to Claressa Shields, it does not change anything as far as the way I see it. No, I don't agree. But let's see. I think that they're two talented fighters, and I just want to see the fight. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, I done told you guys, if I'm confident in the fight, I'll bet on it. You guys are not willing to make bets on it. You just willing to, you saying, I guarantee. But then if I say, let's put 5 stacks up. You put up 10 G's, I put up 10 G's. How about that? No. Okay, well, then you're not really as confident as your words in. But why am I even that concerned that I want to argue with you and take your money? Because you're going to pay up if you lose. But at the same time, it's like, what are we talking about, man? Are we talking about boxing, or are we going to sit here and listen to you rant about how much in love you are with a particular fighter and want to make them invincible? Come on, man. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.